Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Mercedes Warwick, and welcome to Sacred Key. I am here this morning to talk about a journey to being sacred. This is the introduction to our membership community, and I am so grateful that you are choosing to spend a few moments with me. The journey to being sacred is something that has come to me over the past about 3 years, as I went through and continue to go through living with cancer, quite frankly. But what you'll find here on Sacred Key on this website is the book that I have chosen not to write, because I wanted to create a place, a space for those who want to journey through their sacredness and through becoming or being well. I wanted a place to be. When I was home, especially during the early days, and I had such support from my crew, I'm so grateful. But they go home, and then those nights were awfully dark and long. And I had a spiritual practice, and I had gone through a discipline of being in prayer for over a number of days. And so I would just begin to breathe and pray, and it would get me through the night. But as I journeyed out into the world, there were so many people telling me I wouldn't, get my affairs in order. And I wanted to have a place that I could just stand. And there were so many things that influenced me to stand in my spirituality and stand in the knowing that my body could heal itself and that life was eternal. So even if this was going to be a moment that I transitioned my physical body, that I wanted to do it my way. I wanted to do it as close to God, knowing God, aligning into that oneness, feeling no separation with Holy Spirit and with God, knowing that I am the I am. So I found a spiritual community, and they helped me. It was a tremendous blessing. And I had my friends. But in the long run, I had to face some truths. I had to face some truths and release spirituality. Right now I would call it the weaponization of spirituality that I was using in my life to fight my way through things, as opposed to it being a loving, caring, nurturing moment, even though this real life living was happening. In this time, as Sacred Key and the materials that you'll see in the Library of Guidance has developed, these are all channeled experiences. There's no evidence-based medicine here. This is you in contemplation, coming inwardly into your sacred promise. We all come in with a sacred promise. And the discovery of that promise and the discovery of the aspects and the frequencies that help align you into harmony and balance, into going back into the one point, we could call it the 0 point, but that one point where your body and your mind and your life and your living just becomes aligned. And it is very peaceful in my case. My sacred promise is sacred peace. So I always know that when I usually I can take a breath and I'll inhale and exhale, and this peace will wash over me. And contained within this peace, as this journey evolved and expanded, was this deep, intense love that I discovered for myself, of myself, for myself, through myself. And it changed my life. So I wanted to create a community. We just completed 36 evenings of devotion, and what I really learned through that experience is that I could teach a class here and a class there, and there would be some revelation and some insight and expansion. But for people who really want to be in a spiritual practice, whatever that may be for you, What we do here is to provide a contemplative space, and yes, there are some learnings and teachings, but those learnings and teaching collaborates with your belief system. The only thing that we won't do here is listen to your story over and over and over again. We're not going to help you stay where you're at. We're going to help you be in the presence, in that compassionate presence, and help you to expand your intuitive knowing, so you can really trust that gut or that heart or that tingle or that blink. Sometimes you just get that fast thought, you try to hold on to it, but we learn to trust those things and to be in discernment and inquiry. And then when the bubbling ups come, that becomes the simple prayer, the simple confirmation that will bring you into a frequency of sacred living, sacred balance, sacred care. It becomes a ministry and a devotion to self-care, and it allows you to do what you have to do in the way that you want to do it spiritually. So welcome. There's going to be some information that will be flowing out shortly, and I'm sure there'll be some links below this video at some point. But for right now, I just wanted to mention that the Living Sacred Key community is here. You will have access to the Library of Guidance, and if you choose to come into a deeper practice, then you'll be able to become, have an access or have a subscription to the Library of Guidance, so you can tool around the website and go into those. I think right now there's over 30 audios and learnings and awareness and contemplations. And then we have a community membership where there'll be classes that we will be doing every week, so that you can get into a devotional space, a devotional practice of being in community and in communion with your sacred self. Welcome. Welcome to the journey of being sacred. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you very deeply. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Blessings be unto you. Namaste.